Today we're going to take apart this Echo SRM-225i that somebody decided to run straight gasoline in. This was a pretty new trimmer. They only had it for a couple days. Brought it back because it just wouldn't run right. It doesn't idle, and there was nothing but straight gas in the tank. So they decided they were going to throw this one out, and we decided we would take the opportunity, fix this one up, and show you guys what all's involved and what all's inside these things. So here we go. First thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this cover up here to get into the engine. So we got to pull the spark plug wire off of here, and we're probably going to take that spark plug out to get that cover off, so that's not a big deal. We'll just take that out, get that out of the way a while. Oh yeah, that looks real good. So now we'll take these Torx-headed screws out of here and remove the top part of the engine cover. So that's all there is there. Just those two screws, and we are down at the cylinder. Now you got your ignition coil here on the front. Oh, see if we can lift this thing up here. See that? There's your ignition coil. We're going to disconnect the kill wire right here for your ignition. Get that out of the way. So just to get an idea of what was going on in here, and since we had to take it off anyway, we'll just go ahead and we're going to take the muffler off, get a good look in there, see what's going on with this piston. So let's see if we can get this up here so you guys can get a good look at this, because this is a beauty right here. Oh, there you go. You can catch a little glimpse of that. Yep. That cylinder is all scarred up. Let me see if I can get that piston to come up so we can see that. Yeah, there's the piston right there. You see that? Look at that. Just destroyed. What's amazing is this thing would still run. It just would not idle. It would run, it would rev up, and then just slowly bog down and shut off. But you can keep it running wide open for a good while before it would die. And it would just keep starting up, get hot, lock up, and start up again. So this goes to show you these Echoes are built pretty well. They can take some abuse, but this isn't something you should be doing to your trimmers. You should be running some good 50-to-1 in any kind of 2-cycle stuff you have. So at any rate, onward we go. So we know for sure that's got to come off of there. So the next thing we're going to do is we might as well get the air cleaner and all that good stuff out of the way, since we'll have to swap that over the other cylinder. So take these two screws out, and then the carburetor and the air filter housing will all come off together. Now we already drained the gas out of this because, who wants straight gas in there anyway, but since we got the gas out of there and everything, we'll crack that cap open to release all the pressure, so there's no fuel trying to push up through our fuel lines. And we can disconnect these fuel lines off of here, move the carburetor out of the way a little bit further so it doesn't get damaged or anything. We'll leave it hooked up, but just that way we get it out of the way. So next thing we got to do, we got to take this insulator block off here. Two screws to get that out of there. And of course we dropped one down in there. Yeah, we'll get it out here in a little while, but at any rate, we'll keep moving on. Take our insulator off there. There we go. And you can see that gasket's torn. You don't want to be trying to reuse these gaskets, especially when something like this got overheated. So that's a big no-no. Just going to cause you more problems. So that's going to need to be replaced for sure. So now here's the intake side of this cylinder. Oop. Get that end propped up there. Get you a little better look at it. Let's try to get that lined up. There we go. Okay, to remove the cylinder here, all you gotta do is take out a socket head cap screw over here on this corner and this corner down through this hole right here in the front. Get a little better look at there, right down through there. So we'll just zip them out real quick. All right, so this cylinder should be free now. Let's just double check that that screw is out the whole way. Yep, that one is out. All right, so now we're just going to pull this up off of there. And there it is, it's a winner. Oh boy, is that something. Take a look at that piston. Look at that. That's what happens when you run something on straight gas. It's not meant to be. It's amazing that this thing was still running. That piston is just scarred as can be. So that's it. That's what happens when you run a 2-cycle piece of equipment with no oil in there. So this is the old piston here that was ran on straight gasoline compared to our new one. You can see that's a huge difference there. Now for any of you that are trying to do one of these repairs on your own at home and you buy this new piston, it's going to come with the ring and it's going to come with the pin for through it, a couple of new E-clips and some washers that go in there. But when you put the ring on, you see these notches right here. They go to the top, so that when this is compressed, let me put this old piston down here. So when this is compressed, they form a half a circle there to go around that pin. And what that pin does is it keeps that piston ring from rotating around so it doesn't get caught on one of your ports or anything, you know, as it's going up and down. Okay, so this is our piston. On the top here, it has an arrow on the top of it, on the crown there. What this is for is this is the direction your air is going to flow across that piston from intake across to the exhaust. So this should always face towards the exhaust side of the cylinder. And then down here is our piston pin. So if we flip this up, you can see in there, you know, here's your connecting rod, your piston pin, and that right there is one of the washers that came with the new piston. So what you'll do is you'll just push your piston pin in there until, oops, we already got it out there, until it just pokes through that top of that connecting rod. Take some needle-nose pliers, hold your other washer down in there, push the pin through that washer and then through the other side of the piston. And we've already got our E-clip in on this side, so on this side of the piston here, so we know how far to go. So once everything's in the whole way and this pin is against that E-clip, then we can put our other E-clip in on this side so that pin is locked in there and can't come out. You just want to make sure your E-clips are locked down into the grooves so that there's no way for them to pop out and tear your cylinder all up. So here's a look inside our new cylinder. You can see that thing is nice and shiny. Way better than the old one looked. This is the intake port right here. Got your spark plug hole, your mounts for your ignition module, and of course the exhaust port. Nothing real exciting, but this is kind of, this is radius down here to make it easier to get the piston started up in. So you don't need any real fancy tools or anything for that. These are your transfer ports here. So we've got our new gasket on there. We got our piston in place. We've got our E-clip in there. You can see that's latched in. So we're ready to go. We're ready to put this cylinder on there. So now we got our cylinder on. We got our socketed cap screws there, diagonal from each other. You see that one's way down in there, but they're in. We got them torqued down to the proper torque specs we found in the manual. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put our muffler on. Get all our exhaust stuff on this side, and we'll put our ignition module back on, and we'll have to wait for that gasket to come in that we're missing for between the cylinder and the insulator. Okay, so we got our insulator block gasket for between the block and the insulator block and the crankcase there. So we'll put it on, and then we just got to put the insulator block on and bolt the carburetor on. You can see this only goes on there one way. You got the hole down there to line up. But the gasket is notched out to fit around everything with the engine, so that makes it nice. So you know which way it's going on there. Then for the insulator block, you can see it would, whoops, it's going to go on there just like this. So if you're unsure of this, how it fits on there, it's always a good idea to keep that old gasket on there until you're ready to, actually replace it. Bolt the block, the insulator block on, then take that old intake gasket here off. So that way you got everything the right way, because you can line up the indent right here that's in the old gasket. See that there? This indent right here, you can line that up with the back of the carburetor where it was supposed to go, and that way you're sure you're getting that on the right way. Just a little helpful hint there. But the other thing with this is you got that port down here, right here, on the cylinder. So you're going to want to line that up with the hole on the back of your insulator here, which is right down here, because that hole's got to transfer over to this piece. So what we'll do is we'll put this on here. And we'll get that bolted on, and then we'll put our carburetor on. Okay, you can see we got our air filter housing on there. We got a carburetor on there. So now we got to hook up the fuel lines. And on these Echoes, you got 3 lines coming out of the tank. The black one goes to the fuel filter. So that goes to the inside on the fitting with more barbs on it. Put that on there. The yellow one goes on the outside here. This is for your air purge. And of course the third one in there has the breather in it, so you do nothing with it. So we got everything sealed up there and ready to go. Now we're going to put the top cover back on. And these things, they can tend to fight you sometimes because of the spark plug wire. But just get your spark plug wire, fish through there, through the hole. That down through. Make sure you don't have your kill wires over here pinched or anything. Get the spark plug wire positioned right here. This is usually the biggest hang up with these. So we seem to be looking pretty good there. We're pretty even the whole way around. So then what you want to do is you want to use the 2 screws. This one here, you can see the threads on this. This are made for going into the plastic, so they go back. That one goes back here on top of the recoil housing. This one has the finer threads in it. This one goes to the front to run into the cast aluminum of the engine. So we'll put them down quick. Okay, so we got them in place. Then over here, you want to put your kill wires down in a little channel designed to hold them in place. You can see down there, this is what we're talking about. They go right in here, right in that groove. So just get your spark plug wire situated. Like I said, this can always be fun sometimes. There we go. Spark plug wire on. Now we just need to add our air filter cover. And of course, when you put your air cover on, or your air filter cover on, you got the decal at the back here explaining how your choke works. So you know that that's right. So we're ready to put some gas in this thing and try it out. So we hope you at least learned something here today. You know, if you never saw inside one of these trimmers, now you have. If you never realized how simple it was, now you know. And now you know you go to a repair shop. It's not really the labor, it's the price of parts that make it not worth having a certified repair shop fix one of these things back up for you after you ran straight gas through it or did something else to cause damage to the inside of the cylinder. But if you got the time and doesn't take very many tools, you can rebuild one of these yourself, save yourself a little bit of money. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe.